clubhouse, get into the dugout, getting the feeling that this tournament is finally going to start and try to get back into a better position than you were last year?
And I know for a lot of us, this is our second time around, so what we did last time, just being 30 outs short of winning the championship, kind of weighed on us, and, coming back, a lot of us wanted to avenge that and represent Mexico even better and bring a championship there.
Yeah, I'm excited to get going again. The exhibition games were fun, getting to know the guys, some of the new guys. But I feel like we're ready. The team is close, and I'm excited to get it going.
Yeah, on my behalf, honestly, I wish it would never have stopped, right? I think it was the team 3 years ago was really special. It bonded incredibly, and I think we picked up right where we left off. Like Ratty has said, most of these guys have, it's their second time around, and some guys with more important roles. And I think guys have been excited since 23 to get back on the field, put on the national jersey, and represent our people.
Other questions? We'll go to the first row.
Hi, hola Benji, Ada Lavalle de Albat, Ada Lavalle from Albat, Mexico. A question, how do you think these kind of events help the sport, baseball, like to have more fans and the teams can see that they're important so you can get more fans, the baseball can grow globally? What's the mindset that you have for this?
I'll tell you what, when I was still a player, I remember, I think the rumor started that there would be an event like this, like in the maybe late 90s, early 2000s. And I remember a lot of the Latin players, even though we played a Caribbean series, were still really excited to have a team with all the players that were in the big leagues or close to the big leagues. It finally happened in 2006. And what the WBC has done, if you just look only at Major League Baseball in the last, call it 25, 30 years, the way it's grown globally, there's players that are from Europe now. There's players that have been from Africa. There's players that have from Australia. There's more Korean players. There's players from Taiwan. Obviously, the Japanese player is way more available in the big leagues. It's grown by leaps and bounds. And because of that, so now there's fans in Europe because of baseball. Baseball has done a great job, I think, playing games in Europe, playing games in Australia, playing games in Korea, all over the world, right? So, and I think, but as much as the big league games, for the players from those countries and continents to be in the big leagues representing their people day in and day out, I think that's grown it as much as anything. And what's made that possible is the WBC. So I think that's why everybody takes so much pride in playing for the country, but also knowing that you're growing the game globally.
And for you as players?
Yeah, I think just from the last WBC, you see how many more players are playing in this one, more superstars, and just how much the game has grown in the last 3 years. The attendance is up, I think, just across all 30 teams. And for this WBC, you got a lot of superstars, more guys playing Team USA. We got more for us, Japan, and this is our Olympics. We don't get to play in the Olympics, so this is our Olympics, and I think everyone takes pride in representing their country.
I think just like Benji said, just growing the game, seeing kids wanting to play baseball more, seeing more kids wanting gloves and bats. And, I know after what we did in the last Classic, how much it grew baseball in Mexico. It was an honor to represent, our country and bring baseball back to Mexico and the pride that they have just playing the sport.
Other questions? We'll go to the third row on the left.
To Taiwan and to Rowdy, have you picked up any more Spanish since the last WBC?
I haven't. I keep telling myself every year I'm going to learn, but none.
Yeah, maybe a word or two here and there.
Any words? Those you can't mention, huh?
Yeah, I know some of them. I can understand it okay when they start talking about my having no hair and how big my head is, but other than that, not a ton.
Then you're fine.
We'll go to the first row on the left.
Taiwan, this is for you. What's the expectation going onto the mound, you know, trying to set the tone for Team Mexico going against a great team like Great Britain?
Assad's pitching today, so he's definitely setting the tone for us today. He's a good pitcher, and the last Classic, he was just really breaking out of his shell and really showing the type of pitcher he is, and having the 3 extra years for him under his belt, he's going to set the tone for us really big, and you know, our lineup is really strong too. We have a really good, strong lineup, and our bullpen is really strong this year. So they'll set the tone for us, and we'll focus on Game 1, and then after that, we'll look forward to Sunday.
Go to the second row on your right, guys.
Thank you. Sergio Guzman for BeisbolPlay.com. Benji, good morning. You blend, this roster blends guys from coming up in the U.S., raised in the U.S. system, in the big leagues, with some players coming up in the Mexican League system. How do you navigate the clubhouse and the day-to-day to keep them motivated and keep them connected with that biculturality?
Well, I think it's 2 things, right? And it's real simple. We have a goal, and whether you say it in Spanish or in English, if you say it championship, the guys in Spanish understand. You say campeonato, the guys in English understand. And the love for our country. They have, whether you guys that were born in the States or the guys that were born in Mexico, we love Mexico, and we love being Mexican, and we love representing our people. So with extreme passion, right? And then you get in the clubhouse, and then you realize that we have a lot of things in common, and that I don't know how many if other teams can say this. We have great players. We have great human beings. And they love being around each other. And even if they're around each other for just a couple weeks, they know they have each other's backs. So, and they do anything for each other. So it makes it easy that way, right? When you have good people and they have common goals and they have the same passion.
Thank you.
We'll go to the third row on the right, Evan.
Evan Thompson from Sport Relay. Good to see all 3 of you again. This is more for Benji, but get input from the other 2 if you have any. Last World Baseball Classic, Benji, you mentioned that after Mexico's disappointment in the World Cup, you guys had a chance to, bring kind of the Mexican spirit up with athletics, and you had a deep run. Now, that was a few months after the World Cup. Now you're playing a few months before the World Cup. So how can this tournament serve as a springboard, maybe, for Mexico playing in the World Cup?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we know that the main sport in Mexico is today, as we stand here, is soccer, right? We hope to make big strides, in the next 2 weeks, to where Mexico becomes an important sport, or more of an important sport in Mexico, right? I really believe, and I've thought about this a lot. I believe when we win the championship, it's going to be one of the greatest moments in the history of Mexico. I think the greatest sports moment in Mexican history. I believe that will inspire our soccer team to believe that they can do it too, right? A lot of people in Mexico always, they use the saying, si se puede, right? I believe after we win, our soccer team was like, if they could do it, why can't we? And, being that some games are going to be played in Mexico, I think it's just going to be an explosion of just nationalism and patriotism in Mexico. Having said that, once we win, if they're able to have a great showing, I can honestly say it'll be the greatest year of at least athletics in Mexico, and maybe one of the greatest years ever for our country. So, yeah, we have great responsibility, and we're excited to be a part of it.
Do a couple last ones up front.
¿Qué tal, Benji? Buen día. Hace un rato estaba revisando la lista de los capitanes y sus selecciones. Cada selección tiene un capitán, México no. ¿Por qué esta decisión? Había mucha gente, igual en los comentarios, preguntándose por qué México no tenía ese capitán. Entonces, si les pudieras explicar un poquito, por favor.
Sí. La razón para mí es bien fácil. Aquí tengo un capitán, aquí tengo otro capitán, tenemos a otros 6, 7, 8 capitanes. Entonces, tenemos a uno que le dicen Capitán Kirk, ¿no? Él es capitán, pero por el apodo. Pero él también podría ser un capitán. A Randy podría ser un capitán. Entonces, prefiero que tengan la tranquilidad de alzar la voz en cualquier momento, quien lo vea necesario, a sencillamente estar esperando a que uno lo haga, ¿verdad? Nosotros somos un grupo, ¿verdad? Es una familia. Entonces no le veíamos el caso de nombrar a uno, ponerle más presión a él, ¿verdad? Y hasta cierto punto a lo mejor menospreciar a otros. Entonces creo que tenemos un grupo de muchos líderes. Él es un tremendo líder, Randy, los que estuvieron en el último clásico, Muñoz es líder en el bullpen, Robert García es un líder también en el bullpen. Entonces hay distintas áreas, entonces por eso es que pensábamos, y estamos todos de acuerdo, los que estábamos tomando la decisión, que no es necesario tener un capitán cuando tienes tantos líderes.
The two last quick ones over here on the left.
Good morning. So, two questions. The first one in English for Taiwan, and second one, la segunda en español para Benji. First one for Taiwan. You pitched a lot in this stadium at the beginning of your career when you were in Seattle. How much do you think that help you in this game? So, la segunda, el equipo tiene, digamos, muchos jugadores que son nacidos en México, pero también tiene jugadores como ellos que no nacieron en México y tienen raíces mexicanas. Tienen otros como México, como Randy, que obviamente no nació en México, no tiene raíces mexicanas, pero ahora sí tiene descendencia mexicana. La labor de un coach, de un entrenador, de un manager como usted, en juntar todo ese grupo y que todos se sientan parte de la misma familia. Gracias.
Yeah, pitching here a lot, I think, for me, it makes me comfortable because I know what the mound's like. I know how high the mound is. And also how to approach hitters. You know, we have the short porch in left field, so knowing which guys like to go oppo, you know, I know how to pitch them, and I think just really being comfortable on the mound. A lot of guys haven't pitched on this mound. For me, I like it. It's a higher mound, and just knowing how the dirt is and just the feel of the stadium and the atmosphere, just playing here a lot. So.
Sí, mira, como decía hace rato, ¿no? Cuando hay un dicho, ¿no? El mexicano nace donde quiere, ¿verdad? No tenemos que nacer en México para ser mexicanos y tenerle un cariño y un amor a nuestra bandera, a nuestros colores y a nuestra patria y a nuestra gente. Hay comunidades de mexicanos por todo el mundo, ¿verdad? Y una de las cosas que les he comentado a los jugadores, sí estamos jugando por la victoria, estamos jugando por cada uno de ustedes, pero están jugando ustedes por la gente que hizo un sacrificio. Los que nacieron en Estados Unidos, alguien, sea tus padres, tus abuelos, bisabuelos, hicieron un gran sacrificio para venir a este país y darles a ustedes una mejor vida, ¿verdad? Una mejor oportunidad. Entonces ahora tienen la oportunidad de representarlos a ellos, esa gente que hizo ese sacrificio por ustedes o por sus padres, tienen la oportunidad de con actos de algo que ustedes aman hacer, representarlos con pasión, amor y enorgullecerlos. Entonces, creo que para el que no es nacido en México, cuando la piensan de esa manera, pues es muy fácil entregarte al 100% a lo que es ponerse la camisa. Los que son nacidos en México, creo que han hecho un extraordinario trabajo, tanto en el 23 como en esta ocasión, de recibir a sus compañeros con los brazos abiertos. A fin de cuentas, todos los que están en el roster que nacieron en México se comunican muy bien en inglés. Entonces, los que son nacidos acá hacen su esfuerzo, se dan carrilla, ¿verdad? Como si fueran amigos. Y muchas veces el dar la carrilla es lo que nos une más aún, ¿verdad? En un vestidor. Y creo que el vestidor, una cosa bien importante, nuestro vestidor, y hay que decirlo, ¿no? Y lo platicamos yo y Taiwán el otro día. Los equipos de Dominicana, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Estados Unidos, muchos de ellos, Japón, ya se conocen antes de empezar el evento. El equipo mexicano, en muchos casos se están conociendo, se conocen el día que llegan a la pretemporada, pero lo que nos une y lo que creo hace el equipo tan especial es que algunos se acaban de conocer, pero se respetan, y la pasión de ponerse, el orgullo de ponerse la camisa mexicana, los une de una manera increíble, rápidamente, a pelear por una meta.
Finish up very quickly on the left.
Benji, this is for you, and if the guys want to chime in, they can. But how important it is to set the tone in this tournament, get the first win for your team, and rally to keep on going to the rest of the group of play.
You don't talk no more. Go ahead.
I mean, every game's important. You want to win every single one. One loss can define anything. So I think for us, we just want to get out and have a good start early. We have 4 games in the pool, and then obviously we want to advance. So it's 7 total. So ideally, you want to go 7-0 and win the whole thing. So you can't win them all unless you win the first one. So I think ideally, all of us are just looking at game 1 and moving on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, just getting the momentum off early, us being the first game in our pool, we can kind of set the tone for our team and just how the tournament's going to go. And, hopefully from pitch 1 and first at bat, we can get out there early and strike first.
Yeah, like they both just said, we want to get off with the right foot and put ourselves in a great position. And the way to do that is with the victory. And our mentality is we attack. We attack with the bats. We attack on the bases. We attack on the mound. So full steam ahead. And, we're not going to look past anybody, but we know what the end goal is. And we've known this since before we got here. And once we got here, we just confirmed it. And now it's, it's the bell's about to ring.
All right, best of luck to Team Mexico. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Gracias.